Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Spy X Family, episode 9, is it? Episode 9 indeed. It's a little late, but on the day I was supposed to release it, I had some family stuff, and I had to visit them, dressed up all in a suit and whatnot, and when I came back I was way too tired to record anything. Yesterday I spent 2 hours recording the finale of Symphogear G, so I was spent as well. And finally today it is time to watch Spy X Family episode 9. And I gotta admit, I am looking forward to the resolution of our little cliffhanger, because it is exactly what it was, a cliffhanger. Will they, won't they? Will Yor kiss Loid? Will Loid kiss Yor? Or will they not? Will Yuri stab them? Will Anya stab them? Will nobody stab them and they will share a passionate, sloppy, hot kiss? We don't know that. We'll have to see that. They probably won't share a passionate, sloppy, hot kiss. Unless in the doujins. I have full faith that doujin artists will take pleasure in creating their own rendition of this scene and what is to follow. Perhaps even including Yuri. Who knows? You know how they are. But yeah, in the last episode, Yuri appeared, Yor's brother, who works for the Secret Service, and thus is essentially a mortal enemy of Loid. Yeah, nobody seems to know who everybody else is, except Loid, because Loid immediately understood, immediately figured out who Yuri is, but Yuri doesn't know of Loid, Yuri doesn't know of Yor, Yor doesn't know of Yuri, Yor doesn't know of Loid, and of course, Loid doesn't know of Yor. He only knows Yuri's little secret, and I'm assuming Anya will just know of everybody. Although she seems to be out of the picture for a while because she got tired and went to sleep. It's all adults doing their adulting stuff. What will they do exactly? Well, we don't know that. We'll have to watch it. And to watch it, you need your subs. And I need my sound. And I also need to ask for your support that you can do on Patreon, link in the description, or by just sharing my videos around. That also helps a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching this episode 9 of Spy X Family, version by subs, please, as usual. And it's gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Kiss right here and now. Will it? I mean, she's not wrong. Yeah? She needs to get drunk first. Let's fucking go! She's already plastered. Jesus Christ! She's on the prowl. Will they render her lips in oddly high detail? Probably. It's a very common thing to do. And another cliffhanger, right when we were hoping for a resolution, huh? Earl Grey with lime. Earl Grey is great, thanks to the bergamot aroma, but it really goes well with lime. If you have a chance to try it out, highly recommend it. Probably my favorite kind of tea. Earl Grey with lime first, Earl Grey with lemon second. Pu'er third. Something like that. Unless kombucha also counts as tea, then kombucha would probably be the third. Green tea kombucha in particular. Drunk Yor is dangerous, isn't she? First she attacked her brother, now she's going to attack her husband. Although in a very different way. Okay, let's go. Show me what you got. Yuri? Is he gonna pass out? Yeah, he's a Siscon, alright. I will marry sister. Of course. Of course. Yeah, his whole world is crumbling. Of course he's going to try to stop it. Jesus Christ, Yor. Not yet, but close enough. There go the roses. Okay, so that's why he was so beat up in the preview. You were, yeah. But you haven't laid claim to her loins. Cue Anya coming out. Probably, yeah. You are about to fall over yourself. Yeah. Huh. And Yuri immediately changed his mind about Loid, didn't he? Yeah, now he has two people. She has two people that care about her. Of course you will be. I mean, she kinda is, but. X what? X what, Yuri? uh. Yes. Exposing his old weakness. At least seemingly. Now, about that kiss. Yeah, of course. What's he reading? Spy Wars, of course. He also got into it thanks to Anya. Gotta keep up with your daughter's interests, huh? Who's that? Yuri? Yeah, probably. Well, you missed your uncle. She's not a morning person, is she? Can relate. uh, mushrooms and fish remains. Yeah, Anki. Yes. Waku waku, isn't it? It is waku waku indeed. Yeah, the hardest task. Secret police ain't nothing. Making sure your daughter has like good education is much harder. Oh, is he gonna try looking into Yor? Is an assassin. Is what you wanted to say, Anya. Oatmeal and fish remains with mushroom. Not all that bad far as breakfasts go. Wiretap. Wiretap. Wiretap on her neck. Is she going to notice? You were on the attack, Yor. Hmm. What's going to get into your head, Yor? Gonna try to learn cooking? You're gonna try to tell him goodbye with a kiss? You're gonna greet him with a kiss? Good thing they have Anya. Ah, this little gremlin. Okay, where's Loid actually going, though? Oh, holy fuck. Yuri, you're going a little bit overboard. Close. Yeah. He wasn't. Yeah. Haha. So he was planning to do that. Yeah. 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 Oh, and they are explicitly going against Twilight. Just a boring office job. And Lois just listening in. Yep. Ooh. Sowing some discord between them. Yeah. Hmm. Following Yor. Open a joint bank account. Huh. Yeah, Lloyd has enough money as it is. Whomst. Police officers. Secret police to boot. The fuck do they want? I'm not suspicious, I'm married. Oh, it's Lloyd and Frankie. I did not expect that. Oh? Frankie is getting a little too much into his role. Yeah. Frankie. So that's his angle. She will use it as an out. Yep. But she's not on it. She has her ways. Mob. Of course, it was just a mistake. It's not. It's. Oh, of course. My mistake. Oh, my bad. Of course, obviously. How convenient. Yeah, he is. You probably could have, yeah. Look who look who says that. Yeah, taking off the wiretap. Yeah, it really got to her, didn't it? Look who's talking. Yeah, that's also true. Something's happening in their hearts, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. No, not quite. Yep, she can immediately tell, of course. The good ending. Although I can only imagine the heartbreak when or if it eventually becomes known that everybody was pretending to a degree. I don't think this anime is actually, or the source material for that matter, is actually going to go in that direction. I think it's just going to continue with them keeping up their appearances until the manga eventually ends. Although I can't be sure. If they want the manga to have an actual ending, they will have to tackle it one way or another eventually, right? Hmm. What complicates matters even more is that Loid is working for the West, and Yor seems to be working for the East. The Great Dodgeball Plan. Okay. A dodgeball episode. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. But yeah, as I was saying, what complicates matters even more is that Loid works for the West and Yor fights for the East. Yor eliminates targets that are trying to work with the West, and Loid explicitly does work for the West. The only way this manga can have an actual good ending is if West and the East merge back, and there's peace between the nations, and they become a single nation. You know, the Berlin Wall is torn down, and all that jazz. Yeah, I think that's genuinely the only way. Or another good ending would be if they decide to just forget their past lives and move out somewhere, perhaps to another country even. Those are the only two possibilities. I don't know if the manga actually dealt with those themes. It could have, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. It's mostly a feel-good story, but there is some darkness to it at times, and I think it wouldn't be too out of place if it actually had to eventually deal with the fact that Yor and Loid belong to opposing factions, essentially. In case of Princess Principal, which has kind of sort of similar theme of a couple where one is working for one side, the other is working for the other side. In Princess Principal, the explicit goal of the show, the explicit goal of what they're doing, is to bring peace between those nations so that they can be together without having to run away. Right, running away is a possibility, but they don't want to do it. They want to live where they are together by bringing peace upon their country, so it's no longer split, so it's no longer separated, so they are no longer enemies. I would be interested in whether or not they're actually going to bring those themes here. Huh. But let's not talk about that. After I mentioned that I watched Princess Principal on the channel, so if you want to watch it, links, go to my channel, look for the Princess Principal playlist. I've seen the first movie as well. The second movie I think is already out, so I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it soon, I think. But with all that said, let's go through this episode again. Not Princess Principal, Spy X Family. I've read somewhere that your first kiss tastes like lemons. That'll go perfectly with this marinated fish. Indeed! lemon really goes well with the fish. To the point where I scarcely have fish without lemon. Fish and chips, fish sticks, whatever, there has to be lemon on it. Lemon and sriracha. But I'm fine without sriracha as long as there's lemon there. And in general, fish go well, especially fatty fish, go well with acid. That's why in Poland we eat pickled herring, for example, and it's great. I like legit pickled herring. You put it in a jar with vinegar and some water and some spices, and it's great. And there are so many ways to make it. You later take out this pickled herring, for example, slice it up, add some pickled cucumbers, add some pickled onion, mix it up with some sour cream, and you serve that with potatoes. Amazing stuff. Probably my favorite way to have herring. But, okay. Yeah, of course, Yor is flustered to the point where she deems it necessary to get drunk. And Yor is not to be trifled with. For a moment, I really didn't... Or rather, it happened so quickly I didn't even see what she was throwing. But you can actually see that it's a fork. And I love this shot. And he dodged the last possible moment. Reminds me of this scene from Doro Doro, where Noi also... Noi? Yeah, I think it was Noi, also threw a fork instead of a knife. We'll now show you just how in love we are. And Yor is very much on the prowl. She's taking the initiative, and now it's Loid who should be scared. And I guess Yuri as well, because he very much doesn't want to see that. Her lips aren't overly rendered, I was expecting a little bit more, but there is just a little bit of gloss to show how glossy and soft and whatnot they are. Loid just gives in. It just gives in. She wants to ravage me, so be it. And another cliffhanger. I love it. Yeah, the memories of Yor kissing you on the cheek, of your promise that you will marry your sister. But here she is, with another man, nearly kissing him passionately. But she can't, and she goes for the slap, the most annoying fucking trope in the history of anime ever. But she misses, or rather, Loid dodges last moment, and the slap goes to Yuri. Yor is powerful, to the point where it wakes Anya up. Is it the end of the world? And Pomf back to sleep. The rose petals flying in the air. I really thought when this scene was shown that Yuri was caught by someone, by some secret agents or something like that, and Loid had to help him, and that's how Yuri became less suspicious of Loid. But no, it just happened at their home. And of course he thinks that Yor slapped him because he tried to stop the kiss. He just couldn't wait to do naughty things with him. Yeah. You may lay claim to my sister's lips for now. And another slap. Greatest siblings. And Loid genuinely comes off as like a nice guy. I have a sneaking suspicion that this is his actual personality. That he's not pretending here. He's just allowing himself to be natural. He's not pretending to be a nice guy. He genuinely is a nice guy. If he wasn't a spy, this is exactly the same way how it would have played out. I have no doubt about it. Thank you for protecting Yor until now. I'll also do everything I can to be there for her from now on. Let's both of us do everything we can to make sure Yor is happy. And Yuri is very much at cinder towards Loid. He very much is. And how dare they talk about their daughter? I'll prove that you're tricking my sister. Understandably, it all makes Loid suspicious. Yeah, in separate beds. Both of them are embarrassed as hell. Notice how she speaks in her sleep. You'll make me mad if you hit Loid. She genuinely cares about Loid. It's not just a front. It's to Yor. It's not just a pretend marriage anymore. It really isn't, and I've been repeating it time and again in multiple episodes so far that it's no longer just a pretend play for Yor. It's no longer just a pretend play for Loid, but there are a lot of signals, a lot of things they show us that really establish and re-establish that fact time and again that they might have started as a pretend family, but they are becoming a true, real, actual family. Probably a better family than many actual real ones, honestly. And Loid becomes a father. He got into her daughter's interests. He's reading Spy Wars. Can't remember the last time I felt envious of another. Again, emotions. Emotions are appearing in someone who was so emotionless. Do recall episode 1 when he just broke up with that girl as if it was no big deal. He was with her however long he was with her. She was already asking him, like expecting him to propose. They weren't together for a week. It had to have been longer, and he just broke up with her like it was no big deal. Just said, hey, no, I can't really find any intellect in your responses, so I'm breaking up with you. Just up and left. And that was it. Now he actually cares about it. She's not a morning person, and her eye moving freaks me out. Her left eye, she just moved it with her fist. Ugh, freaky. Separate mugs, separate brushes again. I mean, separate brushes even before, but separate mugs. Who's that? Yeah, she doesn't care. She's not a morning person. She just woke up. She needs to have her coffee, her milk, and then she's gonna wake up. It's part of secret police. I don't know what is, but police is cool. Secret is cool. Waku waku. What even is this dish? Vegetables, whole fish, some shimeji mushrooms, like brown shimeji. Didn't know they can get those in Europe, but apparently so. And you can see that this anime was actually made in Japan. In general, in Europe, I mean, maybe in other countries, but in Poland, in Germany, France, all those like more central Europe countries, I guess. I don't know how it is in Spain or Greece or other countries like that, but in the general neighborhood of Poland, you don't really eat fish, like baked fish or potatoes or stuff like that for breakfast. It's usually either some sort of cereal or it's sandwiches, most often like open sandwiches. Nowadays, sometimes a salad or stuff like that. You don't like baked fish and potatoes. it's for dinner, it's for lunch, not for breakfast. So, and shimeji mushrooms, we don't have those here. They don't grow around here. If it was lettuce, sure, absolutely. If it was, I don't know, some other mushrooms of the big variety, sure. But we don't really have mushrooms that are like tiny and grow in clumps. Just a little bit of a side note, a little bit of a detour. There's nothing suspicious about her, but if she knows, if she's onto it, maybe the secret police is using her to get to me. Suspicion. Yeah, what if she was just acting? Suspect everything. And Anya, of course, hears his thoughts and tries to help. But if she wanted to help, she would have to reveal Yor's secret to him. How would Loid react? We don't know. How would Yor react? We don't know. Yeah, she's bad at cooking. Sure. Makes sense. I did do my best. To be fair, it does look nice, just not necessarily a breakfast dish. And the oatmeal does seem a little runny. I like my oatmeal thick. Back to work. Putting a wiretap on her, of course. I like the way he's thinking. I need to silence any doubts now. Yeah, he's not putting it as in, I need to confirm my suspicions. No, I need to silence any doubts. I don't want to believe that Yor is somehow connected with Secret Service. I don't want to believe that. And I want to prove to myself that she's innocent, because I want her to be innocent. It doesn't go the other way around. That's important. He says suspect everything, but he doesn't want to suspect Yor. I fully expected Yor to figure out that she has a wiretap on her. Then again, I guess she's just an assassin and not a spy, so she doesn't know about the spying things. Like, she has great spatial awareness and she can feel his gaze and whatnot, but she doesn't know of wiretaps, ciphers, stuff like that. Thought he was going to give me a kiss goodbye. And Yor is having doubts as well. She can't kiss, she can't cook. Only Loid managed to smooth things out. I'm not acting as a proper wife, but what is proper, really? There is no handbook that says what is a proper wife or what is a proper husband. It's all down to the agreement the family has at home. Stay-at-home husband and a working mother, that's perfectly fine. If the father cooks and mother can't, that's also perfectly fine, as long as both parties agree to it. Right? Now, I understand that it's set in like Cold War era and the thinking back then was different, right? The father is the breadwinner and the mother stays at home and cooks and does the dishes and cleans and takes care of the child and whatnot. But in general, like with the modern thinking, so to speak, then what is normal and what is proper really varies family to family. And of course, her first thought that Loid is acting distant is that maybe he's sick of me being so disappointing. Very low self-esteem kinda to her, because she knows that she has no experience. She's never been with another man. She's been brought up to be a living weapon, essentially from a very young age. She didn't date. She didn't have a fiancé or a husband or a boyfriend, so it's all new to her. And she's not confident in her ability as a proper wife, or at least in her ability to be a wife as she, or perhaps as the people around her, define being a proper wife. And Anya, with her words of wisdom, Mama and Papa need to get along. Yes, they do. And the little gremlin climbs the stairs. Just about barely. Yuri is... Jesus Christ, my dude. That's a little much. He even has Yor written there. That's a little much. Probably wherever he has his desk, if he has a desk, he has like the Simpsons corkboard with photos of Yor pinned to it and the word spelling "do it for her." I have no doubt he'd be the one to do that. You probably get drunk. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. And no, he wasn't disagreeable. He was a great guy. But conmen and spies, they always pretend to be good guys. You can't trust a good guy. If he was a bad guy, I'd have low opinion of him. But now that he's a good guy, I also have a low opinion on him. I just want to hate everybody who's with my sister. God damn, I hate this country. Why is incest so looked down upon? Hopefully he's a spy, yeah. He was fully intending to bug their living room and bedroom, but yeah, he wouldn't have liked them going at it. Not that they would, but there was the possibility in his mind at least. And they are explicitly after Twilight. This is interesting. They're not... Their branch, their group, their team, whatever, isn't just going around looking for spies. They're explicitly looking for Twilight. Because that will lead to your sister's safety. There's a lot of conflicts of interest around here, isn't there? Right? Yuri needs to go after Twilight to guarantee her sister's safety, but his sister would probably be very not pleased, very sad if they manage to catch Twilight. She'd be inconsolable for the longest time, and yeah, a lot of conflict of interest. How do you become a good wife? Yeah, you're never really dated anybody. Section chief wants to send some mail, open a joint bank account. What about you? Some married couples need proper something and savings. What inner reserve or something like that. I don't know. Loid and I have separate accounts. Again, nothing unheard of in modern day and time, but it is the Cold War era. If I contribute a bit of my money, will it make me useful? Probably, maybe, but it's not what you actually need to do to be a proper wife. Secret police. I'm not suspicious, I'm a wife. I have a husband. She really got it into her head that being single makes you suspicious, didn't she? So anytime she's under suspicion of something, she's just gonna keep blurting out that she's a wife. And of course, it's Loid and Frankie. Expecting the mail, the raccoon cipher. Yor was mentioned here. Frankie is a great actor. He's really getting into his roles, doesn't he? Like when he had to play Count Scruffyhead or whatever was his name, he really got into it. Now that he has to play a Secret Service agent, he really got into it. He really likes acting, doesn't he? Yeah, oh, so many people found out as spies at your department. And oh, pitiful end, he offed himself in his cell. He was tortured so much. And they called another woman around your age. Secretary. You wouldn't want to end up as her. Frankie's really having fun with it. He really is. And oh, just so happens that if you're a family with some Secret Service member, then you'll be let free. Just so happens you don't happen to be a family with a Secret Service member, do you? It's a good plan, don't get me wrong, but a little elaborate, isn't it? And yeah, Yor has no idea because Yuri is keeping her work secret from him. I like it. I have a husband. Don't touch me so casually. Yeah, I'm married. Don't you fucking touch me. If you ever unjustly harm either of them, I frankly do not care if I'm dealing with you two. Yep. It was this moment that Loid realized he married the right woman. And oh no, it's not a raccoon cipher, it's a something cipher, like a caterpillar cipher. Of course. How could we have made this mistake? And no, it's not espionage. He was just sending mail to his. What was it? Hemorrhoid doctor. It just so happens that the hemorrhoids in Caterpillar Cipher translate to Yor Briar in Raccoon Cipher. Haha, what a coincidence. They really are lucky that Yor has not a single clue about espionage. Yeah. Don't tell me you feel guilty. He does. Don't develop unnecessary feelings. He did. It was unavoidable. If you value your life, don't trust anyone. But what life is it without having trust? Right? It's not a life when you're all alone and can't trust anybody. It's just a shell of a life. We have no other way to survive. Well, Loid is going to prove you wrong. Thought I could land a few chicks with that face on. It's a terrible idea to date a woman while deceiving her. I guess it's not a terrible idea to marry a woman while deceiving her. Not only would I be ruined as a wife, but I would have destroyed the forgers. Oh, it just so happens I'm in the area. Oh, there's again something on your collar, and it really got to her that there's something on her collar. I can't even keep up proper appearances. Huh. Yeah, he's talking about an act. Many families throughout this world are somehow putting on an act, thinking a wife should be like this or you're supposed to be that parent. Yes, they are. And most of them either eventually grow into that play pretend until it becomes their new normal, or they are forever unhappy with their pretending. There's no other way. And many people suffering like that come to the hospital, to the mental ward. Yes, they do. You can't keep up appearances for too long. People have no other way than to be themselves. When they can't, they suffer. That's just how it is. Yeah, don't put on an act. I want you to be as you are. I married you for who you are, not for who you're supposed to be. Is essentially what he's saying. And I couldn't agree more. Like, if you date, if you engage with someone, if you marry someone, you're not doing it with some lofty ideal of a partner. You do it with the actual person. You shouldn't expect them to change, and they shouldn't expect you to change for them. Right? It's often when a couple gets together and one of them has to change for the other and they become really unhappy with it. It happens way too often than you would have thought. Some people soldier through it because they see no other way, because maybe it's their first successful relationship and Oh, if only they cut down their long hair, maybe it's gonna be fine. If they take their spouse asks them to no longer wear earrings, so they will comply. Oh, I really don't like this tattoo you have. You should remove it, and we will be happy as a family. You should be dressing differently. You should be speaking differently. You should find a different job. I don't like your friends. You should change them. How often does it happen, doesn't it? Not that I experienced it myself, mind you. But I have it on good authority that it does happen to people. And you really shouldn't. Like, sure, in every relationship, there should be some concessions, right? One person is allergic to milk, the other person isn't, then they should, figure out their fridge. Maybe they should switch to plant milk or to lactose-free milk or something, right? There are things like that, but you shouldn't change the core of who you are for nobody. Really, you'll be miserable if you do. That was a tangent. Let's continue. The more confident you seem, the less people suspect anything. Another tangent incoming. There's a subreddit, r slash, what was it? Fuck, I forgot. But essentially, there's a subreddit dedicated to people who get into places by just acting confident. Act like you belong. r slash act like you belong. If you act confident, if you act like you're going somewhere with a purpose, you will get there. Really. You dress up in a nice suit, or just dress up nicely. You walk into some office, no, and you just walk confidently and with purpose. Nobody's going to pay you any mind. Some might even greet you. If you look serious enough, some might think you're their new supervisor. It really works. It really does. If you want to get somewhere where you're not supposed to be, wear a high-vis vest and take a toolbox with you, or maybe a tool belt. Just walk in confidently. Anybody asks you something, you say you need to fix a light. In every building, there's at least one light that doesn't work, and as long as you're confident in where you're going, you can get anywhere. It really works. And the more confident you seem, the less people will suspect anything. This is true. This is absolutely true. And of course, yeah, Anya will be happy seeing you smile. I'm truly grateful that I married you, Loid. And Yor really means it. For her, it's really becoming a real marriage. If it's not a real marriage already for her, in her mind. Loid still has some doubts, but I think he crushed them right now. Or at least his doubts regarding Yor. And he's slowly growing into this whole marriage thing as well. And he eventually will give in completely. To both of them, it will be just a genuine, real marriage. And soon enough, Anya will have a sibling. I have absolutely no doubt about it. If the manga ever ends, I can fully see a sequel or one extra chapter where they're living somewhere in in some cottage in the countryside, and Anya has a sibling. I can fully see that, absolutely. It's most definitely happening in the doujins as we speak, but I'm waiting for something official. And yeah, everybody's happy now. They have cake, they have some tea, and they're having a nice time as a family. Next episode, I see is going to be dedicated mostly to Anya and her school shenanigans. I see Damien featured prominently. Walk quietly, the corridor, vice principal, rules and expectations. I'm assuming Damien strives, has a lot of strife, has a lot of issues with that. He's the son of a prominent family, so he should be acting proper. He should be getting good grades. He should be the best always. He should be winning awards. all those caps are probably his and he has to continue the legacy. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's putting a lot of strain on him, a lot of stress. I don't know. The great dodgeball plan. I'm guessing this kid was hit by Anya? Or by someone else, and it's Anya holding him something like, I'll avenge you. Wouldn't surprise me either. Sportsy Anya. With this little headband, she really looks like Yor, doesn't she? She really looks like Yor. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. Okay. That was an episode. That went places, didn't it? The first half was, of course, very haha funny and slapstick comedy, literally slapstick comedy. The second half hit a little, right? It wasn't quite like fully dark or anything like that, but it had a little bit of a hit to it, a little bit of a tinge of maybe not negativity, but the fact that life isn't all bubblegum and roses and butterflies and rainbows and whatnot. That there are some issues, and that the Forgers, their family isn't free of them. On the contrary, their family is more full of issues than most others because of the fact that they are keeping so many secrets. But in the end, they worked through it, at least for now. I am assuming both Yor's real occupation and Loid's real occupation, and perhaps even Anya's true nature, will surface eventually. But I can't even begin to wonder, begin to predict how it will go. I really have no clue. I'm scared of it whenever it comes to pass, but yeah, I'm not gonna think about it because the anime surely will not cover it. I don't think even the manga gets there quite yet. But if it does get into that territory, do let me know. Just without any spoilers, just either confirm or deny whether or not these secrets are actually coming to light eventually. If not in the comments, you can do that on my Discord. There's invite in the description, and that's the short link you can also use. But really, with every episode, the Forgers are growing more and more as a family, aren't they? It started as a con, both for Yor and for Loid, but it's really becoming so much more. It's really becoming real. If this series was more drama inclined, I can fully see it going the way where Loid has to run away from his own agency because he decided that being with Yor is much more important to him than his work as a spy, and he's willing to sacrifice it all and go through hell and high water to be with Yor. And Yor is going to have to run away from her own agency because she again decided that the family is so much more important. They will have to go around killing people and running away, that kind of stuff. I can easily see it going that way if it was a different show, but it isn't. So I'm assuming that whatever they work out in the end, it will actually work out. The best way for it all to work out is to bring peace to the country, so there's no longer the West and the East, so that they can finally work together. Perhaps under the same government, perhaps under the same agency. Loid might continue being a spy, Yor might continue being an assassin, but working on the same side, just spying on foreign officials and eliminating foreign dignitaries, that kind of stuff. But again, I don't think it's coming anytime soon, be it to the anime or even to the source material. Anything else that bears mention? I don't think so. I think that's it. And over an hour, that's already long as it is. I've been putting out some really fucking long episodes recently. I just recorded an hour and a half of review Starlight. Yesterday, I recorded 2 hours of Symphogear finale. Something shorter, something around an hour. I say shorter, and it's around an hour. Should do for this episode. And to think that when I was starting this episode, this channel, this series of reacting to anime, I gave myself a goal of like 40 minutes per episode should be fine, and now I'm just exceeding an hour just casually. uh, okay, again, that's gonna be it. So, you guys, you let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this episode, of my reaction, of my theories. Should I had any? I think I had some, so what do you think of them? Just keep it spoiler free. It is a very, like, not story heavy show, pretty much, although kinda is, so spoilers aren't that big of a deal, but I would still very much appreciate if you refrain from posting them. There's my Discord, where there's a Spike's Family channel. You can use spoiler tags and talk spoilers there with fellow people who are up to date on the manga and whatnot. Like this video if you liked it, disliked it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, not only Spy X Family, but also Tatenusha no Nareagari Season 2, Skeleton Knight in Another World, Shokei Shoujo Virgin Road, highly recommend that one, Symphogear G, Review Starlight, and that's it. I think that's it. I think that's my current lineup. And of course, if you want to see Princess Principal that I mentioned, that's on my channel, the complete series, and what not. If you want to support the channel, you can do it two ways. You can do it monetarily on my Patreon for $10 to get early access to non-seasonal shows like Review Starlight and Symphogear G, and for just $1 you get a role on my Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits as an appreciation for your support. And if you don't want to, or you just can't spend money, that's fine by me. You don't have to. You can support me another way. You can just share the word, spread the word, share my videos with other people, because the word of mouth really matters a lot for a YouTube channel, really does. So I will appreciate you spreading the word about it. And yeah, join my Discord, already mentioned. It's free, open to everybody, so don't be afraid. And with that, I'm gonna end it here. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the credits I mentioned. You can help expand the list if you want, or not, or start another with a different tier.